Hey everybody, welcome back into Divine Frequencies. It's your girl Evelyn Michelle, aka EM Divine, and y'all, I have something to share this week. I went on a date. Yeah, I went on a date with somebody, and that's crazy because that's something I haven't done in a very, very long time, to be honest. I kind of just like stick to like my own little world, and I just try not to come out of it as much as possible because although I'm someone who's very outgoing, I'm also someone who's kind of like more reserved and quiet, and my family wouldn't agree with me, but that's only because I'm just so convinced they don't actually like hearing me talk. But that's okay. We're not here to, well, actually, we are here to talk about that. I'm nervous right now. I don't know why I'm nervous. Okay, so let me start here. So I was really nervous to go out with this guy, okay? Like, so nervous that I was like literally going on a rampage while I was getting dressed.
Fuck! What the fuck? So, ugh. I'm kind of wondering if I should just cancel.
I felt like a lot of pressure, okay? And I just was so nervous. I wanted to not necessarily make a good impression. I just wanted to know that both of us were gonna like enjoy ourselves, because I would get really like self-conscious when it comes to talking. Like even on these vlogs, like I'm not gonna lie, I get really nervous when it comes to talking because I just don't think anybody wants to hear me, And so here's the thing, what I realized is that my nervousness though didn't really stem from this guy. Like he was decent, he was polite. I think I just was scared because I don't have like a really good history with relationships, like any type of relationships. I don't have a good history when it comes to my family. I don't have a good history when it comes to like romantic relationships, like none of that. I'm not always the best when it comes to advocating for myself. I feel like I've got a lot better with that over time, but I communicate through music. Music is like my go-to. But communicating with somebody else and there's no music around, no beat, no nothing, that's a different level of vulnerability that I struggle with a little bit. And so after, the night was said and done, I kind of went home and I started thinking about where that stems from. And I'm not going to lie, it stems from my mother. My mother and I, we have the worst relationship possible. I mean, it's got better over the years, but I still don't trust her. I'm not going to lie. I don't trust my mom as far as I could throw her. I don't trust any of my family members. And I feel really bad. Like my baby brother, he's exempt from that because my baby brother, that is my world. My baby brother is my life. I would do anything to protect that boy, anything at all. But my family was really chaotic growing up. And I never really had a safe space to just breathe in my household. And it caused a lot of issues for me as I started learning how to navigate, being a mom at 18 and trying to figure out what love was supposed to be and what love was not supposed to be. Because I was so used to chaos, I constantly found myself drawn to patterns that resembled that of my household. I would be in relationships with guys who would be extremely rude for no reason and who had a really bad temper. And in my head, it was always like, oh, well, you know what? I can match that energy, so it's whatever. But it wasn't whatever. And it took me a long time to realize that. And then I had a really, really bad relationship where I completely lost myself, like lost my voice, lost my spark. I lost everything. And I'm not going to lie, that relationship cracked me open. And at the moment, I didn't see it. Like it hurt. But that relationship was what helped me to see me more clearly. So it was also a blessing. And that's the thing. I don't really believe in like bad or good in this world. I think everything is a blessing. A lesson is a blessing, and a blessing is still a blessing. After that relationship broke me open, it took me a long time to finally like get to this point where I'm like really where I sat with me and like who am I? Who am I really? And so anyways, I went on this date and I realized that I still was scared of showing up as just me. Not gonna lie. I don't like feeling like I have to put on a performance. That's not who I am. Like at the end of the day, like you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. If you don't like it, move along. That simple, right? But no, because at the same time, while I was over here preparing for this date, y'all, I was going crazy in my mind. Y'all, I was spiraling. But here's the thing. I showed up anyways. And I'm so proud of myself for that. I showed up in my boldness. I showed up in my humor, which I don't actually know what he was laughing about. But whatever, he was laughing. So I'm like, riding with it. And I'm pretty sure I drooled on myself. Like, not because he was fine, but y'all, because your girl was dehydrated. I had been in the studio all day working. I was just like, y'all, it's whatever. It's whatever, okay? I'm just so proud of myself because I actually really showed up for myself. So that was just a little overview, but it actually brings me into 4 truths that I've wanted to share about partnerships that I've learned on my journey. So the first one, partnership should not feel like a performance. If you feel like you have to perform, that is your body's way of telling you that you don't feel safe. And that could be about that person, that could be about you. Either way, you cannot build a real relationship or a real partnership or a real friendship off of performance. It will not be built to last. You will always feel like something is missing, and what's missing is your authenticity. And building a relationship in survival mode is not love, meaning that if you're going back and forth with somebody, if you're sitting here, no matter how loyal you are, putting up with disrespect, that is not love. It is not love. That is chaos, and it is unhealthy. And it hurts not just you, but the other person too, because enabling a person's bad behavior is just as bad as allowing that behavior to happen to you. I don't care what anybody tells you. That's genuinely what I have learned. But it's a learning experience. So be gentle with yourself as you're navigating relationships. But if it causes you harm, if it feels chaotic, if you feel like you can't show up as who you truly are, I can tell you it is not love. Anybody can make butterflies, but character, that is the real intimacy. Show me somebody who is steady when the lights stop flashing and the camera stop rolling and life starts lifing. Consistency is where you get to see who somebody really is. So as women, I know sometimes like we want to rush the process and we want to overanalyze someone's moves and we want to feel like we have to have an answer. But I promise you, lean back and allow somebody to show you who they really are, because people cannot wear a mask for that long. You cannot receive love you don't believe you deserve. That is why healing is not optional. It is foundational. You only let in what your nervous system feels safe holding. For me, that showed up as a lot of domestic abuse. That showed up as a lot of fighting, a lot of yelling, a lot of me shutting down and allowing people to bulldoze over me. A lot of me trying to be assertive, but really being aggressive. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not sure that I'm fully healed from the part that still shuts down. I'm not sure. And I don't think healing is linear. Healing is a lifelong journey. It takes time, it takes work, it takes awareness. And all of that takes time. You do not have to know where something is going. You just have to know how you're going to move in it. I cannot stress this enough. When you are so focused on trying to get something to move a certain direction, You are now building a relationship that is built out of control and not love. Any relationship built off control, that is not a relationship that is meant to sustain. Freedom is one of the greatest forms of love that you can give somebody, at least in my opinion. Allowing someone to be exactly who they are, regardless, and just deciding if whether or not that aligns with you or not. I'm a big believer that relationships are not about two people merging as one. It's about two whole people learning how to walk their individual paths while still walking a path together. So I had to learn that for myself in my life without a partner because I didn't know where I was going. Some days I still don't know where I'm going, but I do have a big binder that actually shows me like if I'm on the right step. And so far, I think I'm doing good, y'all. Seriously, you can only choose how you are going to move in a relationship. You cannot control what somebody else is going to do or how they're going to move. And for me, now I move with softness, I move with patience, I move with self-respect. And that was something that I really, really had to learn. So anyways, I hope these vlogs get better because y'all, I'll be feeling a mess. Oh, wait, I didn't even get to the best part. So you guys, I'm getting ready to roll out my new song, Cries, okay? And this is one of the most vulnerable songs I've ever made. It was really, really hard for me to show up and make this song. In fact, it took me a year to make this song. But I'm really excited to share this with you because it's not just about one relationship. It's about all of my relationships. My mother, my father, the relationships that I learned to accept in my life. It's all of that. I had to let that out. And by allowing myself to release that, I get to give you guys soul cries. So I'm excited. Here's a couple snippets. And I hope you guys are excited too.
It's a game we both play. Every kiss feels in the cracks of my sleep. Your name's carved deep where the wounds still weep.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. I am just a woman learning how to be vulnerable again, not from fear, but from wisdom. And as Soul Cries plays in the background of my week, it makes sense because that song came from the same space. The part of me that's ready to be seen without the armor. Thank you for tuning in to Divine Frequencies. I will see you guys next week. Stay divine.
It's the ache, it's the pull, it's the fire that died. Still the soul cries.